Let's go to South Africa and talk about getting a little bit more into Cyril Ramaphosa's Monday evening rejigging of his 28th member cabinet. That shake-up actually included the creation of a new Ministry of Electricity, headed by a minister whose job was to tame the rolling blackout by Eskom. Let's get out to Cape Town now for more on this. My guest tonight on this is Peter Major, who is a mining investment professional. He's also the director of mining at Mergence Corporate Solutions. Good evening, Peter. Let's just hit the ground running very quickly. How has this cabinet reshuffle announcement been received today based on news coverage and comments from your industry colleagues?
Hi, Bosan. Yes, we did have 8 changes, but you have to consider that's 8 changes in a ministry, a cabinet of about 28. And they weren't really important positions. The creation of a new electricity minister, that was a very important move. And they say it's because Mr. Ramaphosa could not get his will pushed through Gwede Mantashe, who's head of mines and energy, and he couldn't get his way through Mr. Gordon, who's in charge of public works. So if you can't get your current cabinet and ministers to do what you want, you create another one. And that's what's happened. But, juggling 28 ministries is a lot. And we know South Africans are smarter than Americans, and we know their economy is much larger than Americans, but it's not twice as large. They're not twice as smart as Americans. So I don't know. It's hard for an American president to handle 12, 13 vice presidents or cabinet ministers. How Mr. Ramaphosa can handle 28, I don't know. But it does give big power to this Minister of Electricity. He has the power to override because he's got a state of emergency declared. He can override a lot of legislation, a lot of approvals, and get things done. So it is a very powerful post.
Yes, it is. The fourth quarter GDP numbers, which was released today, Peter, showed 1.3% contraction for South Africa's economy last year because of Eskom's problems. How serious was this decline for South Africa?
Look, it's very serious because I think the average forecast was 1.7, 1.8 up. So that means you're 3.5% off. And yeah, that's a big jump for the economists to be 3.5% off. It was a big shock. I think, look, I shouldn't say that. Most of the economists did forecast we were going to be down 0.5% or close to 0.5%.
Yes.
But that's a big turnaround from 1.8 up in the third quarter to 1.3 down. So yeah, it's a 3% turnaround, and it's a whole percent more than most economists were forecasting. But it's not just electricity, it's Transnet. If you look at that, 8 out of 10 industrial sectors were down, Bosan, in this quarter. And mining and agriculture, the two biggest, they were tied, I think 3.3% each down. And they're the ones that are under the pressure from bad legislation here, grueling, brutal legislation that's throttling agriculture and mining. And our Transnet is as big a problem as Eskom. The trains can't get the coal and iron ore out.
Yes. So that's a big problem. That was a big problem towards the end of last year as far as Transnet is concerned, trying to resolve that. But electricity remains a very big issue. So how is the new minister hitting the ground running? And is this ministry and the minister the silver bullet for South Africa's energy crisis?
No, he could be a silver bullet if they would give him some ammunition. They've given him the gun, and they've only given him one bullet. And that's to fast track and override traditional authorities, but that could lead to more corruption and more problems. They need to give him, if he's got a 6-cylinder, he needs 6 bullets, not just one bullet. You can't just override ministerial meetings, regulations, approvals. Look, that works for a while if you have the right person, but the ANC never seems to have the right person. They're all mired in corruption. So he needs other bullets. He can't just override and dictate.
Peter, you want a kind of a Rambo style kind of empowerment, the kind of Rambo firing on all fours. Remember Rambo movies and all that with them. So that's the kind of thing you think the electricity sector in South Africa needs right now?
Yeah. It needs a stranglehold called BE and cadre deployment. It needs that noose taken off its neck. You have to let Eskom buy who they want to buy from, not from dictated mafiosa construction supply companies. You have to let Eskom hire who they need to hire, the best person, not fulfilling racist BE criminal quotas. And so those are the big bullets. Those are bazookas. You remove those kind of policies, you don't even need to privatize. And just privatizing some of Eskom will help, yes, if you take off the noose. So this electricity minister, yes, he's got the power, but I'm not sure he's got the right bullets, and I'm not sure he's the right person. He doesn't have a great track record of getting any projects done that he was put in charge of for the last 4 years.
A very interesting scenario. Okay, we're going to touch base with you in the days and weeks ahead to find out how the new electricity minister is getting on. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time tonight and contributions to the show. Peter Major, Director of Mining at Mergence Corporate Solutions in Cape Town. Thank you. Wish you all the best.